How did the historically dominant religious traditions of the West evolve? What were the key steps in this evolution? How did it come to be that the majority of the populations of Europe and America are made up of people who identify as or profess the religion of Christianity? Well, to answer these questions, we have to go to ancient Greece and ancient Rome. We start in step one, Greco-Roman mythology. The religion in ancient Rome was a polytheistic religion that followed a pantheon of deities. Some of these are very famous and we've heard of, such as Zeus, Apollo, and many others. The religion of ancient Greece originally flowed into ancient Rome, and these two civilizations shared much of this history together. Going into step two, we see Hellenism, new realities. With the 4th century BCE conquests of Alexander the Great, Hellenistic Greek civilization and culture spread far and wide, from Macedonia and the direct Greek lands themselves, into wide swaths of the Mediterranean, the Levant, and eventually through Persia and even into India. Alexander the Great's conquest spread this Hellenistic religion, or this Hellenistic civilization, and the cultures and eventually religious ideas as well. One area we're going to focus on in step two is Alexandria, Egypt. Many people see Alexandria as the greatest example of Hellenistic civilization. And one thing we should focus on with Alexandria is what was the creation of the Septuagint. The Septuagint is the Greek translation, or was the translation into Greek of the Hebrew Bible, or what Christians know as the Old Testament. This was extremely important, as it allowed the ideas of this text and the influence of it to spread far and wide and to flow into a multilingual sphere. This would have huge influences on the coming development of Christianity and the development of the religious traditions that many call the Judeo-Christian tradition. In step three, we see Jesus, Paul, and Constantine. Jesus of Nazareth and his disciples. Christians believe that the life, teachings, and ideas of Jesus of Nazareth and his disciples are contained in what they know as the New Testament. One of the most important figures in the New Testament, whose books, his letters, make up the majority of the New Testament, was Paul of Tarsus. Paul of Tarsus, again, is a fascinating figure. He started out as someone who was a persecutor of the followers of Jesus. However, he had a religious conversion of sorts, and he declared himself to be a follower of Jesus and someone who was spreading forward what he believed to be the message of Jesus. And his work, again, is huge in the text that is the New Testament, and thus the theology and religion of Christianity. The last part of step three we see, again, is Constantine. Constantine is an extremely important Roman emperor who does a lot for answering our question of how did the religious traditions of the West evolve as they did, and how did what we consider the West, Europe and America, how did it come to have the religious traditions that the majority of the people profess? Constantine, although it's doubtful or it's debated whether he officially converted to Christianity in full, but it's known that he participated in some Christian practices and patronized Christianity in the sense of governmental patronage. And very importantly, he legalized Christianity with the Edict of Milan, this event. And going forward, he laid the foundation for the eventual total Christianization of the Roman Empire under leaders such as Justinian and others. So this was very crucial. Step four, Christianity, New Rome, Byzantium. This is the key thing that answers our question of how did what we know of the West become majority Christian, or made up of people who profess the religion of Christianity. Being that many people see Europe and America as the descendants of the Greco-Roman civilization and ancient Greece and ancient Rome's traditions, the Christianization under Constantine, Justinian, and going forward, allows us to see how the West became majority Christian, with Byzantium as the key piece, what some may call the cornerstone. The city of Constantinople or Byzantium as the great center of Christian pilgrimage and Christian learning. We read from page 162 of the Ancient Roman World, quote, By the time of Constantine's death in 337 CE, Rome's ancient gods had lost much of their power among the people. Christianity had become the favored religion of the Roman state. At its head were the bishops of Rome, who called themselves popes. I think we can see now how these key steps led to Europe and America being majority Christian, and what some may call the Judeo-Christian tradition. Thank you very much today. Have a good day.